Yes, thanks for staying with us on the Sports Show. Probably plenty to talk about.
Well,
firstly, we have to talk about your team, of course, the Sturt Footy Club in the SANFL getting over the Eagles. What did you make of the game?
Well, it was a great game. And, you know, we had Marty Matner in earlier in the year. We had Zane Kirkwood in leading up to grand final. You know, they probably epitomise what Sturt's all about. Two really well-balanced, in their own right, great players. And I think Marty brought to them exactly the elements they needed. A little bit more direction, firmer direction, a defensive game plan, and a game plan that stood up under enormous pressure. They brought it to the table grand final day, and well done to the Double Blues. They were sensational. You've got to say it. It was a great effort.
All right, there's been a lot of talk over the course of the year, last couple of years, of where the SANFL's really at.
Yep.
Over 31,000 at the game, and it was a terrific day for footy.
Yeah.
Over 117,000 viewers watched the game, so the numbers are up.
Yeah.
Is it back on the rise, or was it just that it was Sturt in the grand final?
I think, you know, Sturt supporters traditionally come out on that grand final day. You know, it's amazing the amount of people, and this is my only concern, the amount of people that stay away from their team playing either the Crows or Power out of some sort of protest. I don't get it. You're not doing anyone a favour to stop doing it. The fact is this, I like Crows and Port Adelaide being in there, and I think we should aspire for our competition to be better than the AFL second division, which is what we've always said, we're the second best comp. Let's play like the second best comp. I think it can be supported, however, with an increase in the salary cap, which makes it then, gives you sides the ability to pay players more for that extra committed needed to be a better side. I mean, you've got some players playing for $200 a week up against guys that are playing for $5,000 a week. And they're in the losing side, the $5,000 a week player. So, look, it's the coming together of two different cultures, for want of a better description, but I like the way it sits at the minute.
You know, it's funny, sometimes people just don't like change.
No,
we see it a lot in South Australia, they don't like change. Realistically, they've been in the league now 3 years, Port Adelaide and the Crows.
Yes.
Have they won a grand final yet?
No, they haven't made one yet.
So I think people's fear was that they'd dominate the league, they'd destroy the league. It hasn't happened.
No, it hasn't.
So if anything, it's probably enhanced the league, lifted the profile.
Yes.
It's certainly injected more money back into the SANFL. I'm not exactly sure what the negative side is, other than we don't really like them because they're not a club team.
No,
which is pretty poor.
It is pretty poor. And the only change I would like to see, I'm going to be honest, is to see SANFL clubs play home finals if they've earned the right leading up to, but excluding the grand final. So if Glenelg played Norwood in the second semi and Glenelg were first and Norwood were second, it's played at the Bay. It gives the opportunity for that whole area to support and actually give their side a home ground advantage.
All right, a couple of quick things, Poppy. The AFL Commission have approved the notion for a game next year to be played in China. They reckon it'll be round 10, round 11. Of course, Port Adelaide, Gold Coast looks like being the game. The point of contention is who pays, because you've got to move two teams over there. You've got the umpires, officials, everything else that has to happen.
It has to be the AFL.
Well, they're saying we're not going to fit the whole bill because obviously Port are using it to promote themselves into China. So I'm just saying that's where it sits at the moment.
Do I have to fix this problem up too?
Can you fix that as well?
At the minute.
All right, Benny Hart, of course, has been released by Collingwood.
Yes.
Would we see Benny back in South Australia?
Possibility.
Big name South Australian football.
Yeah, and a couple of changes happening down at the Crows, as we know.
So could Benny be
interesting.
a dark horse?
Hey, let me ask you, talking about changes, I don't even know. You know Gary Hocking?
I know Gary Hocking, yes.
Because I've heard that
I know Benny Hart too, so I
I
know where you're going with this. I know a lot of people, so don't start going, you would know.
I'm just wondering whether or not you've heard a little whisper about Gary Hocking being approached by Norwood Football Club.
I haven't heard that rumour, but it would be...
Well, can you find out?
I sat in the coaching box a couple of years ago with Gary, asked me to sit in, try and critique the way he coached. Fantastic.
Okay,
and I mean, sat in with lots of coaches, AFL, not making it sound...
So you're endorsing his ability to coach Norwood?
Absolutely.
Okay, well that's good.
Coach Norwood, absolutely. I think he'd be no disrespect to Norwood or the SA. I think he'd be wasted at that level. I think he's got greater things ahead of him.
Can the Bulldogs do it?
Hope so. Hope so, but I don't think so.
No, you like Sydney?
Sydney too good. Look, the last two games have just been too dominant.
They've been great, but don't forget Bulldogs have beaten them twice during the course of the year.
Well, the rain's coming. Will the rain make a difference?
Yeah, I don't know. But you know what? I've written off the Bulldogs in every final.
Well, write them off one more time. One thing we're guaranteed is going to be exciting.
Yeah.
We just don't want it to be like it was last week where Sydney just dominated.
I don't think anyone can do that to the Bulldogs.
All right, we normally like to finish on a good note. Unfortunately, not such good news. Maxie Walker, of course, passed away this week. 68 years of age. Maxie played footy for Melbourne, cricket for Australia, of course. Dealt with prostate cancer. So there's a message there. If you haven't been checked, go and get checked. Time for us to go. Hope you've enjoyed the show, everybody. Look forward to your company next week. Bye for now.